Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another NRL video. My name is Cody, and tonight I'm here to give you my round 15 NRL tips of 2024. As it is recording, the Bulldogs-Eels game is still underway. It's just in the second half at the moment. Eels just scored. It's roughly 16 points at the moment. Now, if Eels do win, I will lose that game, unfortunately. I will either get 5 out of 7 or 6 out of 7. At the moment, I've got 5 of 6 games. The only game I've got incorrect is the Broncos game. They lost 22-12 against the Sharks. Other than that, I've got every other game correct, which includes yours truly. My boys won against the Gold Coast, thrashing them 46 points to 12 up on the Gold Coast. Now we've won 9 straight against them, against the Titans up at Seabus, which is just excellent and funny as well. Anyways, without further ado, we'll get into the video. But before we do that, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're on the road to 1,600 subscribers. We've cracked 1,560 subscribers just last week. So appreciate all of the people who have recently subscribed to the channel. Thank you all a lot. It really means a lot. Anyways, with all the talking done, we'll get into the first game. And we finally have a proper 8 game round fixture. And by the end of the last game, we will find out who's in game 2 for both Queensland and New South Wales. Anyways, first game kicking off on the Thursday night at 7:50 p.m. at PointsBet Stadium, which just found out as well. PointsBet Stadium, it'll be the last time PointsBet Stadium will be its final year being called that as Shark Stadium is looking for a new sponsor. So, the PointsBet Stadium's been the sponsors for the Shark Stadium since 2019, so it will be coming to an end at the end of this year. So, all the best for the Shark Stadium, and a new sponsor will be sponsoring the stadium. Anyways, we have the first game between the Sharks, who are currently in second place, against the 4th place Dolphins, who are coming off a bye. So we have a top 4 battle, the Battle of the Sea Creatures, game 2 as well. Now, the only game these two have played, obviously, was last year during Magic Round. The Dolphins, my apologies, won 36-16, and that was Wayne Bennett's 900th game as an NRL coach as well, funny enough. So, there you go. Hopefully the Sharks are looking to redeem themselves after they also finally snapped their 2-game losing streak, winning 22-12 against the Broncos up at Suncorp on Saturday night, to which all Queensland teams lost. Who expected that to happen? But yeah, at the moment, the Sharks are at favourites at $1.33, and the Dolphins are at $3.34. For injury concerns, I think Nico should be back for this week. As for Dolphins, not really no major injury concerns, so they'll be full strength. For the first game, who do I have winning? This one's going to be quite tough, honestly. Dolphins have been hit and miss. They've been doing very well this year. I mean, the last time they did play, they did lose to the Warriors 24-20, and they did lead them. Which led to Dolphins losing from the Warriors coming back in that game. But it's also the Dolphins' first game in Sydney this year, and they have lost all 3 games which they played in Sydney last year. They lost to Manly, lost at Parrot Combank, and they lost to the Roosters at Allianz last year, and lost all 3. So for this one, I think the Sharks will bounce back. I think Sharks will go back to back for a while. They've been a bit off the patches in the last few weeks, but I think the Sharks will get the job done here. For try scorers for both teams, we'll go the Hammer side TBI Fido. For Dolphins, Dolphins try scoring. For Sharks, we will go Thomas Hazelton to score for the Sharks. So Sharks to get this one. And for score and winning margin, Sharks win by 6. Scoreline will go 28-22. Sharks win. Alright, now we move on to Friday night. The first of our 2 games kicking off at 6 p.m. down there in the nation's capital at GIO Stadium. We have the 7th place Canberra Raiders taking on the 12th place North Queensland Cowboys taking place from GIO Stadium, kicking off at 6 p.m. Cowboys, well, they got demolished against the Warriors, losing 42-12 at home. How shocking and disappointing that is for the Cowboys. So embarrassing after they got the win against the Roosters 2 weeks ago at Allianz 18-16. I mean, that was a shocking performance for the Cowboys. That was just rubbish. And as for the Raiders, they are coming off, I believe it's their second bye. They're coming off. And the week before, Raiders won in Golden Point against the Dolphins, winning 26-25 up at KA Stadium 2 weeks ago, back in Indigenous round. Back in round 13, sorry, not Indigenous round. But it was a great game, but Raiders finally got a field goal. I think that was through the 89th minute, so it could have resulted in a draw, but luckily it didn't, and that could have been the Dolphins' first draw as well. But at the moment, the Raiders are at $1.65. The Cowboys are at $2.25. In the past 10 games between these two, Cowboys have won 6 of the last 10 games, which includes winning the last 4 games. So the last time the Raiders won against the Cowboys was back in 2020, where they won 14-12, and that was at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Also, the Raiders have lost 3 of their last 4 games versus the Cowboys at GIO Stadium. The last time the Raiders won against the Cowboys at GIO was back all the way in 2016, where they won 26-12 against the Cowboys. Sorry, my apologies, guys. The last win was in 2018, 38-12. Raiders beat the Cowboys now. 2018, not 2016. My apologies. But Raiders have lost 3 of the last 4 games versus the Cowboys at GIO Stadium, and they've also lost their last 2 games, funny enough. But this game should be a good game to watch. I'll be heading to Canberra in just 6 weeks, in 6 rounds. So I can tell it's going to be freezing, and I'm going in July, at the end of July. It's going to be bloody cold down there. But for this one, I think it'll be a close one. I'll go to Raiders to win this one. I think Cowboys will bounce back, but after last week's result, I know we usually see the team that gets flogged, wins the following week, but I don't think this time. So I will back the Raiders to win this one. Raiders to win by 8. Scoreline will go 22-14. And try scorers for both teams. We'll go Elliot Whitehand for Raiders, and Cowboys we'll go Kyle Felt to score. So Raiders to win by 8, up the milk. Alrighty, now we move on to the main event Friday game, which is kicking off at 8 p.m. And this game will be the first of 3 games I will be attending. Yes, I will be attending 3 games this week instead of the usual one. First one is obviously my boys, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, currently in 16th place against the 5th place Brisbane Broncos. Yes, you heard that right. Rabbitohs, we killed the Titans. We've won 9 straight against them now. We flogged them 46-12 up on the Gold Coast on Saturday. Great win. If you haven't seen my live stream from that, I hope you guys can go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It was such an amazing stream. Probably the best stream I've done this year. I mean, obviously it was only the second Rabbitohs stream I've done this year, but it was a great stream. Go check it out. But we got our 3rd win of the season. Back-to-back wins for the first time since round 11 last year, funny enough. So where we won 6 in a row in 2023, that's the first time we've won 2 games or more in a row. Well, which is funny. And as for the Broncos, the only game I got incorrect. Broncos lost to the Sharks, and now they've lost 2 in a row. They lost 22-12. Obviously, Reece Walsh he had got a HIA concussion, HIA. Obviously, he failed to pass it, and he was unable to play during the rest of Origin 1 because of Suoliti. But Unfortunately, the 11-day protocol still stands for Reece Walsh. I think it's the day after that the 11-day is over. So Walsh will not be playing, unfortunately, for this game for the Broncos. Reynolds is still out. He's still out for like another 6 to 7 weeks. As for the Rabbits, Havili, it seems like it is confirmed to be a calf strain or re-aggravated of an injury he's had previously. So, bit of a blow, but we're expecting to have Karen Murray back for this game. Anyone else, I'm not sure, but we'll wait and see. But anyways, Broncos are favourites at $1.58, and the Rabbitohs are at $2.40. In the past 10 games between the two, it has been 5 games apiece, shockingly. However, Brisbane have won 4 of the last 5 games. We haven't beaten the Broncos since we haven't beaten them since 2000, the first game last year against them, where we beat them 32-6 at Suncorp. In the last 2 games, Brisbane have won 36-20 and 28-18 respectively, both on the Sunshine Coast and at Suncorp earlier this year. Now, this will be the first time we've played the Broncos at Accor Stadium since 2022. We lost that one 32-12. The last time we won at Accor or ANZ Stadium was in 2021, where we killed the Broncos 35-6. And Broncos have almost won half of their games at Accor versus the Rabbitohs. They've won 4 games, lost 5, so not bad for them. This game, obviously, I will be backing my boys. I'm never backing against our boys, no matter what, if we go through a shit period or excellent period. I will back my boys as always. I reckon we will go 3 in a row. It will be tough, though. I mean, they did struggle in the game last week against the Sharks, but new week, we'll have to wait and see. So I will go to Rabbitohs to win by 6. Scoreline, go 20-14. Try scorers for both. We will go... we'll go Dean Mariner, and for Rabbitohs, I reckon Alex Johnson, he will be the second top try scorer of all time coming on this Friday. Unfortunately, AJ didn't go over against the Gold Coast, but this time I reckon he loves to try out of core. I reckon AJ will go over to score a try for Friday, and I reckon he'll get try 191 to be the second top try scorer of all time. Anyways, I'll be there. If you're going, I might see you there. Anyways, up the Rabbitohs for Friday night. Bunnies by 6. Alright, now we move on to Super Saturday. First game kicking off at 3 p.m. down at Leichhardt Oval in Sydney. The first time a game's been at Leichhardt for a long while. Been quite a few rounds since we've had a game at Leichhardt this year. We have the last place, 17th place, West Tigers, taking on the 15th place Gold Coast Titans. And oh bloody boy, this is going to be a shit game to watch, as all, like every other West Tigers Titans clash, as it always been. So I remember back in 2022, that was a pretty shit low scoring game. And I'm glad this is the only game these two are playing this year. What can I say about the Tigers? They lead 10 or 12-0, or 10-0. Then they lead 14-6 or something like that. And then Dragons puts on 50-plus points on them, and they lose 56-14. What the fuck? You let the Dragons for a bit of the game, and then Dragons kill you, and you get put 50 on them. And to all the Tigers fans, you can't win the premiership this year. You weren't going to anyway. But, Jesus Christ. That was a horrible performance from the Tigers. And now they've lost 9 games in a row. I'm not kidding. 9 in a row. This is a repeat of 2022 and 2023. And I think this is the longest losing streak, or close to the longest losing streak they've had in the last 3 years. Fucking disgusting. Can't say the same with the Titans, unfortunately. They got destroyed against the Rabbitohs up on the Gold Coast, 46-12. Both of these teams are just plain horrible this year. And this is going to be a horrible game to watch. I'm glad I'm not watching this game, because I will be at a game later on that day. And no, I'm not going to this game. Fuck this game. There will be a better game. I'll be going to Leichhardt this year I will be going to Leichhardt this year, but it won't be this round. You guys will wait. You guys will find out in the next few weeks. Anyways, 15th versus 17th, bottom 4 game. Even with the Rabbitohs winning, this will be a tough game especially for when it comes to the Rabbitohs. If we lose, Tigers win, we'll be back in last. We win, Titans win, they'll still be in front of us. But if we win, Titans lose, we go in front of them. But I don't know. This is just going to be a horrible game to watch. But anyways, enough of me rebelling. Already gone through last week's games for both of them. Titans are the favourites at $1.64. Tigers are at $2.26. This game is taking place at Leichhardt Oval as well. Now, before I get into the stats, and I'll with a head-to-head runner, this will only be the 6th game these two have played at Leichhardt, and Gold Coast have won 4 of the 5 games at Leichhardt. And the only game they lost at Leichhardt against the Tigers was in 2008. So the Titans have not lost to the West Tigers at Leichhardt since 2008. 16 years. That is shocking. 16 years. That's just horrible. But, so, Titans have won their last 4 games at Leichhardt versus the West Tigers. And speaking of which, the Titans have won 8 of the last 10 games, which includes winning the last 5 games in a row. The Tigers' last win over the Gold Coast was back in 2019, 30 points to 14. And that was up at Scully Park as well. And that's the Tigers' only win at Scully Park as well. But the last time the Tigers beat the Titans, last time the Titans won the last time the Tigers won in Sydney against the Gold Coast was in 2011, and that was at Campbelltown. What the fuck? So it's been 13 long years since the Tigers have beaten the Gold Coast in Sydney. That's just shocking and disgraceful, considering that the Titans only came in the comp in 2007, a full 4 years before that. Oh, God. Shocking. Anyways, this will be a tough game to tip as well. I was thinking about it, but for this game, I will take the Gold Coast for this one. Now, obviously, Tigers play better at Leichhardt than Campbelltown, but Tigers have lost 9 in a row. It's just like 2022 and 23 all over again. And with Benji Marshall, he's under a lot of pressure. And I'm not surprised if Benji Marshall does get let go this year. But Jesus Christ, Tigers. But yeah, I'm taking the Titans for this one. Won't be a nice game to watch. This is going to be a low scoring game. I'll go Titans to win by 6, 14-8. That's how I reckon how this game's going to be terrible. Anyway, for try scorers for both teams, for Tigers we'll go Charlie Staines, and the Titans we will go David Fafita. Glad I'm not watching this game or streaming this game. That's for sure. Anyway, moving on to the next game. Fuck this game. Titans to win. Alright, now we move on to our second game of Super Saturday. Kicking off at 5:30 p.m. Here on the eastern seaboard of Australia. Kicking off at 7:30 p.m. over in New Zealand. We go to Mount Smart Stadium. We have the 8th place New Zealand Warriors taking on the 1st place Melbourne Storm. Ooh. Warriors last week, round 14. They flogged the Cowboys to win 3 in a row, 42-12. Good on the Warriors. Still no Sean Johnson, but a great performance all around for the Warriors. And as for Melbourne, they struggled against the Knights in yesterday's game. Storm just hanging on the win to win at AU Park, 36-28 over the Newcastle Knights yesterday. That was a high-scoring game, but that was an ugly game to watch as a neutral, really. But you expected Melbourne to kill them. Obviously, the Knights turned up. and I'll get to the Knights in a sec. But win's a win, and I guess Melbourne will take it. Now, the odds at the moment, it's only 10 cents the difference. Storm are the favourites at $1.87, and the Warriors $1.97. That's actually surprising. I mean, considering the record Melbourne have got over the Warriors, that's a surprise. But I guess going in based on form at the moment, that's no surprise there. Which comes to this. Melbourne have won 15 games in a row against the Warriors, all the way back since 2016. The Warriors have not won since 2015 in a decade. The last time Warriors won, which was actually the last time they also won at Mount Smart against the Warriors, 28-14 back in 2015. Can they break it this weekend? We'll possibly have to not find out. But in the last 3 games between the two, during the last 3 games between these two, has been decided by 12 points or less. Last 2 games, on Anzac Day last year, Warriors almost beat the Warriors. Warriors just lost 30 points to 22. And then this year, only decided by 4 points. Back in round 3, I think it was. Melbourne just hang on the win in a high-scoring, great game, 30-26 in at Amy Park. So the Warriors are very, very desperate to break this long losing streak against the Storm. And why not do it this weekend against the Storm, who are in first place? I mean, first versus 8th place. It's not the first time they saw a clash when it comes to first versus 8th. Back in the 2008 qualifying final, I think it was called. It was the McIntyre 8 system back in 2008. I think it was the first finals game of 2008. The Warriors upset the Melbourne in that one. I think the score was 18-14 or something like that, or 14-12. And first versus 8th, same scenario, but anything is possible this week. But who am I going to be tipping for this one? You may think I will be tipping Melbourne, but I'm not confident. It's long overdue. I think the Warriors will break the losing streak this weekend. So I'm going the Warriors to put an upset on the Storm. Warriors to win by 6 points. Score, high scoring again, 24-18. Try scorers, we will go Chockle Nickel Clockster. And for Melbourne, we will go Xavier Coates to score. I believe in the Warriors this week. I think the Warriors can get the job done. Now, a lot of people can call me a dickhead for it, but there's been quite a few upsets this year where I've gone the underdog team, and look what happened. What can you say about that? Anyways, Warriors to win by 6. Alrighty, now we move on to our final game of Super Saturday. We go to CommBank Stadium. This will be the second game I will be attending for the weekend. We got the 14th place Parramatta Eels taking on the 10th place Sydney Roosters. Now, just before I get into the preview, I can confirm the Dogs did win against the Eels, 22-18. So I got 6 out of 7 tips correct. So best tips I've done all so far this year, 6 out of 7. The only game I got wrong, like I said, was the Broncos. So yay for me, 6 out of 7 games correct. Excellent, but obviously I still want a perfect round, but we're getting there. But anyways, just like that, Para just lost to the Dogs 22-18. A lot of sloppy errors, a lot of penalties, and unfortunately their own discipline lost the game. And as for the Roosters, coming off their first bye of the season last week, and in the last round, round 13, they shockingly were upset against the Cowboys, leading 14-4, and they still go on to lose 18-16. What the fuck? Like, why? They should have put the Cowboys away. I mean, I get it, Origin, yes, but still, no excuses. Absolute absolute terrible performance for the second half of the Roosters for that game against the Cowboys. Anyway, at the moment, the Roosters are favourites at $1.58 and the Eels are at $2.39. In the past 10 games between the two, which includes the 4 games played at CommBank, which includes 4 games being played at CommBank, Roosters have won 8 of the last 10, which includes winning 5 of the last 7 games. The only 2 games that Eels have won during that period between 2021 and 2020 were both at CommBank. The first one, 31-18 in 2021, and in 2022, Eels won that 26-16. So it's currently 2 games apiece between the two, and whoever wins this one will go 3-2, and the loser will go 2-3 against each other. Anyways, who do I see winning this one? This one will be straightforward. I know Eels home game, but honestly, I think the Roosters will put a score on them. I will go Roosters 13+, honestly. I mean, Eagles, they got a 5-day turnaround as well coming up. Roosters to win by 16. Scoreline will go 34-18. Try scorers will go Will Penasini, and for the Roosters, we will go James Tedesco. So Roosters to win 13+. Alright, now we move on to the Sunday games. The final game I will be attending will be this Sunday game between the 9th place Manly Warringah Sea Eagles taking on the 6th place St George Illawarra Dragons, taking place from 4 Pines Park. Now, Manly are coming off a loss against the Penrith during their game yesterday. Fortunately, Manly lost 32-22, so Panthers got the win in their second game against each other after Manly upset the Panthers earlier in the year 32-18. As for the Dragons, they smashed the Tigers. What can I say more? 56-14 or 56-12. Yeah, 56-14, that's it. I mean, excellent comeback from the Dragons too, putting 50+ on the Tigers too. Who expected that to happen? And yet the Dragons are not the favourites for this week, which comes to that now. Now, Manly are the favourites at $1.47, and the Dragons are at $2.69 outsiders. In the past 10 games between the two, Dragons have won 7 of the last 10, which includes winning 3 of the last 5. And that put in there, they have also won 8 of the last 11 games as well. Now, this will be the first time these two have played at 4 Pines Park as well, for the first time since 2019. Funny enough, so it's been 5 years since these two have played there, and Manly won that game the last time against the Dragons back in 2019, where they won 34-14. And the last time the Dragons won at 4 Pines Park, or was known as Lotto Land, was back in 2017, where Dragons won 35-10. So this game is also another game that can go either way. This will be an interesting game. I will be at Brookie for the first time as well this year, so should be a fun day. For this one, I will favour Manly, despite that Homai Olokoladu is also facing a suspension 2 to 3 weeks due to a tripping offence. I think Manly will still put on a game for the Dragons, for the fans, and I think they'll win against the Dragons. I know Dragons smash the Tigers, but anyone can beat the Tigers except the Eels and Sharks at this stage, of course. But I will favour Manly to win this by 10. Scoreline will go 26-16. Try scorers for both. We will go Ruben Garrick from the Sea Eagles, and from the Dragons, we will go Tyrell Sloan from the Dragons. So should be a good game to attend, and should be a good game to watch as well at home. So Manly to win by 10. And now we finally move on to the final game of round 15. And then after this game, we will find out, or on the next Monday, we will find out who's in the New South Wales and Queensland squads. Queensland, I think they will remain the same. New South Wales will be interesting to see, but I'll get to that when I get to my preview and review for Game 2. Anyway, Knights are taking on currently taking on the 3rd place Penrith Panthers at McDonald Jones Stadium. at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Knights almost beating Melbourne, stay in the game. However, they still lost to Melbourne 36-28, a lot more better than the week before when they were destroyed against the Dogs, losing 32 points to 2. Ugly performance, that one, but a good performance for the Knights against Storm regardless. Panthers, bouncing back against Manly. At least they beat Manly this time around compared to last time. Panthers won against Manly 32-22 in a high-scoring game. Penrith are currently the favourites at $1.25. Newcastle at $4. Holy shit, man. Should the Knights win, that would be great value. In the past 10 games between the two, well, Penrith have won 8 of the last 9 games. There's also a draw thrown in there, which was at 14-all back in 2020. The only Knights win during those last 10 games was in 2018, and that was the last time Knights beat the Panthers too. 20 points to 12. However, the last time the Knights beat the Panthers at McDonald Jones was back in 2015, where they won 26-14. So it's been almost a decade since the Knights have won at their home ground against Penrith. And there's still going to be another game between the two later in the year at the start of August. I think that's going to be round 22, that one. So this one will be fairly straightforward as well. However, I will back Penrith. I only won the 12. I think Knights can give them a game. I mean, last 2 games at least have been close. The first game between the two last year was only decided by a Nathan Cleary field goal, 16-15. And then Penrith won 20 points to 12 in the other game, in their most recent game against each other. So I will back Penrith to win 1-12. We'll go Panthers to win by 8. Scoreline will go 28-20. Try scorers for both. We will go Brian Toto for Penrith, and for the Knights, we'll go Dane Gagai to get the try. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up my round 15 NRL tips 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're on the road to 1,600 subscribers. We are only just around 35 subscribers from reaching it, so hopefully we can reach it by the end of June. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, good luck with your tips this week. And just to point out, I've got 6 out of 7 for round 14, so I'm back up above 50%. I'm not sure how much I got in total. I'll double check that when I edit this video and shit. Anyways, good luck to your teams this week. I'm attending 3 games this week. Rabbitohs Broncos on Friday night at 8 p.m. Roosters Para at CommBank on Saturday. And Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, Manly Dragons at Brookie. First time going to Brookie this year, and it won't be the last time, that's for sure. Anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you all in the next one.